Hare Krishna. Hope I'm audible.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhu. How is your throat now? Fine?
It is slightly better.
Slightly better. We'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Gata Mahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hariharaya Nama Krishnaya Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. So welcome you all to the level 2 class of Bhagavad Gita, and we are learning about chapter number 14, and we have completed half of the chapter, and today in continuation we will go for the next slides. Okay. Can anybody have a quick recap what we have learned yesterday?
Mataji, we learned about the three material modes of nature. That is about passion, ignorance.
3 moods of material nature, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Sattvan is
Yeah, Mataji, you can say after Prabhu finishes.
okay, Mataji.
The verb ignorance, passion, and knowledge. About these 3 modes, and that those who are in knowledge, they gain the Supreme Lord. Those who are in passion, they remain in the earthly. And those who are in ignorance, they go into the like animal yoni. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, you can say. Shweta Mataji, yes, you can say.
If someone means there are 3 modes like sattva, rajas, tama, and if one person do in a goodness, he will be a sattvic person, and if a person who is like greedy, envious, and all, he is little bit rajas, and who is down means who has some tamasic craziness. He will be in tamasic gun, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, Manoj Prabhu, did you join? Okay, he didn't join the audio. Okay, fine. यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु प्रलयं यति देहभृत् तदोत्तमाविदं लोकानमलां प्रतिपद्यते. When one dies in the mode of a goodness, he attains to the higher planets of the great sages, and and one enjoys what one gets in the higher planets like Brahmaloka or Janaloka. And Amalam means free from the modes of passion and ignorance. And the mode of goodness activities are pious and results are pure. But in a contaminated world, the mode of goodness is the purer form of existence. So the person who die in the mode of goodness are elevated to the higher planets where great sages and other great devotees live happily and free from all the illusion. So that is the end result. Okay. Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha praleenastamasi mudha yonishu jayate. So when one dies in the mode of a passion, he takes birth again among this earth, and again he has to complete the cycle of birth, death, disease, old age, and all those things. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the lower planets, that is animal kingdom. Okay. So after reaching a platform of a human life, a soul can certainly go down. So it's not that we have reached this place and ultimately our journey will be forward. So if we are falling down in any of our endeavor in this process, automatically there will be a downfall. So we should make use of this consciousness to get elevated in our spiritual practices. And the same thing is a repetition, like when one dies in a mode of passion, he will again come back here to complete the cycle, and ignorance, they go back to the lower planets. And then they have to again elevate themselves to by an evolutionary process through Krishna conscious to get a human life. Okay. So we are all fortunate enough to be in a human life. So make utilize of this to connect to the God and go back to the Godhead. So one should take the mode of goodness and transcend that to in a good association. The aim of human life is to get liberated. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, did you join? You can recite.
Hare Krishna, Madam.
Yeah.
Karmana sukutasyayuhu satvikam nirmalam phalam rasastu phalam dukkham agnanam tamasa phalam. By acting in the mode of goodness, one becomes purified. Works done in the mode of passion result in distress, and actions performed in the mode of ignorance result in foolishness. Bhagavad Gita 14.16. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the good ones is purified, passionate one again, you will come back to this material world, and ignorance again end up being a foolish person. Okay. So activities in the mode of a passion are miserable, because always you'll be running behind these, that, and all the stress behind that to keep these people happy, all those people happy, to keep your senses happy, and also always you're in a rat running mode. Okay. So activities done for material happiness are bound to be defeated, and sometimes you feel, say, suppose nowadays if you think of buying a home, sometimes when you don't have any home, you feel okay, a small house is suffice. But once you get a small house, then you feel of upgrading to a 2-bedroom house, then upgrading to a 3-bedroom house, then you wanted to get upgraded to a bigger house and all, doing the interiors, all those things. In the what is required minimum, we have to work for it. But again, um, uh, minimum requirement for our living we should keep, and rest we should try to donate it to the temple, because that will benefit more people who are in a distress and all. Okay, having an individual house will only, we will be benefited out of it. But apart from us, nobody else is benefited out of it. So we should not try to run behind all the materialistic manifestations and all. So many human lives are put to misery in the construction of a skyscraper or a house, that one point of time when we die, nothing, where it goes, we don't know. So from the financial provider to the on-site workers, so the so-called happiness and completion of project is not a real happiness. Again, the big projects which are coming, again, there has to be sale. It has its own tension. The money comes with its own tension. So that is the material life, it comes with the Maya will be along with that material life, and it will have its own challenges. Okay. So the performer is subjected to the cycle of repeated birth. The activities done in the mode of ignorance makes one life miserable in the present and the post-death too. The performant will land up in animal life that is always miserable. So they can't have that consciousness of knowing about the God. As you all know, the animals do not understand the spell of illusionary energy, the Maya, and slaughtering the poor animals is an act of ignorance again. So basically, you don't have any idea about the Vedas, Puranas, leading a sattvic life, or being in a sattva guna. Okay, so unknowingly he will indulge in pleasing his senses. Okay, so making the poor animals, because they feel that these people are going to feed us some food and all, so innocently they come to uh, the shelter of that person, and he will kill that animal and send it, what do you say, he parcel it, or he will sell it, or whatever it is. So it is something like for his own benefit, he is using that animals and killing that life cycle of that animal, again making that animal not to complete its uh, next karma cycle, and entrapped to be born again in the same yoni. Okay, likewise, we are breaking the chain of that poor animals being in a mode of an ignorance. Okay, so no idea about him and what he is doing and all, because totally he's ignorant. So here Lord says, even one kills an ant, he has to pay for it, since Lord cannot tolerate this, because killing an animal for the taste of tongue is the grossest kind of ignorance one can do. So human being has no need to kill animals, because God has supplied so many nice things to feed upon. Okay. All kind of animal killing, the killing of cow is the most heinous as per Rig Veda. And Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So my Lord, you are the well-wisher of the cow and the Brahmanas, and you are the well-wisher of the entire human society and the world as per the Vishnu Purana. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Sattva sanjayate jnanam rajaso lavaiva cha pramadamau tamaso bhavatu gnanam eva cha. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance, develop foolishness, madness, and illusion. Bhagavad Gita 14.17. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So different modes will have a different effect. You can see the pictorial depiction of the same person in 3 different modes. So how it's going to affect your mood, your surroundings, your thinking process, everything and all. So when the mode of goodness is developed, people will sing as they are, and in the mode of ignorance, they'll be like animals. They cannot see things clearly, and due to the want of education of actual knowledge, they become irresponsible. Education for developing the mode of goodness in general is very important. That is right. We should take out daily time to read the scriptures of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam to possible extent. Let it be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time we get, at least little thing. Open one page, read one purport, or at least the the translation part. So make a reading habit so that some knowledge will go inside. Such education will make people sober, knowledgeable about the thing as they are making them happy and prosperous. So one has to elevate himself to the mode of goodness by practicing Krishna consciousness. In the mode of passion, one profession, occupation are also very troublesome. He has to make plan and scheme to acquire, because that is a rat race again, and again miserable. But in the mode of ignorance, people become mad. They're addicted to substance, engaged in sense gratification, whatnot, everything. Okay, so such people's future is very dark. Even if some of them are happy and prosperous in Krishna consciousness, peace and prosperity is ensured all over the world. If the world is oriented towards the mode of passion and ignorance, there can be no peace and prosperity. In the mode of passion, people become greedy with unlimited hankering for the sense enjoyment. Even with the money and facilities for sense enjoyment, there is no happiness and peace. Yes, I just wanted one devotee volunteer to read this. What are the results of these three different modes?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Results of actions in the modes. Goodness. From goodness, real knowledge develops. Krishna consciousness helps society to develop mode of goodness. People can see things as they are. They can be in happiness, peace, and prosperous. Second one, from passion, greed develops. Greedy and always hankering for sense gratification without any limits, neither happiness nor peace of mind. Third, ignorance. From ignorance develops illusion, madness, and foolishness. No knowledge, irresponsible, cannot see things as they are, being distressed, take shelter of intoxication. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So goodness is like having all devotee association, thinking about Krishna, doing practice for Krishna. So we'll be all happy, peace, and prosperous. Passion is again running behind the sense enjoyment, acquiring things for the self as well as the family. So again, you are in a rat race. And ignorance is that no knowledge about anything and far away from all good thing and always distressed. So they take the help of intoxication. Yes, Prabhu.
Panitin. Urdham gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasaha jaganya guna vitistha atha gachanti tamasaha. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the high planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets. And those in the mode of ignorance go down the hellish worlds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So good upwards, okay. Passion on the same level, and bad, you will go down. Okay. So again, the gradation, the variation by which one is in the mode of a goodness. So they will reach the 7 planets above, and if they are purely Krishna consciousness, they'll go beyond the Vaikuntadam to Golokadam. Okay. And the prime person of the universe is Brahma, maybe beyond that. Okay. So it all depends on how you practice. So similarly, for the person who is doing a passion, they will stay back here only. So they will not, again, they have to come back because their desires and wants are incomplete, isn't it? So in the mode of passion, there is also a chance of becoming mad in the next life. So those in the mode of ignorance, they will do all abominable actions, what they can do, and they take the life in the 8 million species of life, like bird, beast, reptiles, trees, etc. So tamasa indicates those who stay continuously in the mode of ignorance without rising to a higher mode with a dark future. So those in the mode of ignorance and passion can get elevated to the mode of goodness through Krishna consciousness. So no matter whether one is in Krishna passion or ignorance, but once they have decided to elevate themselves, they can come into the mode of a goodness. So one such example, anyone remembers? Ratnakara will become sage Valmiki, isn't it? He is totally in a mode of an ignorance. He'll be a hunter and killing all the people who have come to the forest and robbing all the valuables from the trespassers. And once he come in contact with the Narad Muni, and upon instruction by Narad Muni, so he will do the Ramanama Japa, and he will turn into the sage Valmiki. So it's not that people, if they are stuck in one mode, they will limit it to that only. So they can be elevated to the higher planets when they come in contact with the good association. So association is the first and foremost thing which will keep us progressing further in this mode of a goodness. Yes, Prabhu.
14.19 Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drishthanupashyanti gunebhyascha param veti madbhavam sa adhigacchati. When one properly sees that in all activities no other performer is at work than these modes of nature, and he knows the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental to all these modes, he attains my spiritual nature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, who will be above all these three modes of material nature? That is, who is there in a Shuddha Sattva Guna. Definitely, he's going to reach the Lord. Okay. So when you see things that they are nothing beyond the modes of material nature in all activities in all, and that the Supreme Lord is transcendental to all these modes, then you can know my spiritual nature. So this practices whatever we are doing, not only the Sattva Guna, Shuddha Sattva Guna, and it should go beyond that. So from a bona fide spiritual master, one should understand. So it is first and foremost thing is taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and all devotee association. About his spiritual position, material body and the senses, and how he is entangled in the modes of material nature and helplessness. Real position transcend the modes and become spiritual, and how these three modes can be transcendental. And Krishna is the real spiritual master imparting spiritual knowledge to Arjuna. In this particular Bhagavad Gita, actually the living entity is not the performer of different activity, but we are just a puppet, and Lord is the performer ultimately, and he is forced to act being situated in particular type of a body, or like all of us are possessing, controlled by a particular mode. And such understanding fixes him in Krishna consciousness. One who sees things they are not influenced by the material nature. So initially, if you think, if you can remember, Arjuna was thinking, like, I have to kill all these people, I can't take the sin and all. But in the 11th chapter, once he realizes that it's all Krishna who is the one who is doing and creating, maintaining, and humiliating everything and all, and Arjuna is just a nimitta matra in this. He's just instrumental in making this happen. So everything is taken care by Krishna. Once we come to know about that, definitely we will not entrap in these three modes of material nature. Yes, I wanted one more devotee volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Three modes of material nature, platform of real knowledge. What is the platform of real knowledge? Three modes platform of material activities. Supreme Lord is transcendental to these modes and controls all these modes. How can one transcend the mode? One can transcend by understanding the science properly, by learning from proper souls who is real spiritual master? Real spiritual master is Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So once we have a knowledge that who is the real spiritual master, Krishna, and by taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, he will impart the required knowledge by which we can know about the Lord. In that way, we can know about the Lord who is above all these three modes of material nature. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. 14.20. Gunan etan atityo trin dehi deha samudbhavan janma mrityu jara dukhe vimukto mritam asmute. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. Hare Krishna.
So once we know everything is temporary, whatever is binding us is all temporary. So once we come to that realization, then whatever situation it is, so we will take it as a blessing of the Lord. So even in this body, in full Krishna consciousness, we can advance in spiritual knowledge, set free from the influence of three modes of material nature, and can enjoy the happiness of spiritual life. And after leaving the body also, we will certainly going back to the Godhead only. So through this devotion service in Krishna consciousness, one can get liberated from the material entanglement, because we have a knowledge like what exactly is truth, what is the knowledge about the Lord, and what is three different gunas and how it's going to affect us. We have a knowledge about it. So that is the reason why we will try to condition ourselves not to trap or fall into the passion as well as the ignorance mode. Yes, Prabhu.
Arjuna Vacha Ke Linge Strin Gunani Tan Atito Bhavati Prabho Kim Achara Katham Chaitam Strin Gunan Ativartati. Arjuna inquired, O my dear Lord, by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What is his behavior, and how does he transcend the modes of nature? Bhagavad Gita 14.21. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So how he is able to do that? Let's see next. So the same questions here. The blessed Lord said, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present, not long for them when they are disappear, they seated like one is unconcerned, being situated beyond this material reaction of the modes of nature, who remains firm, knowing that the modes alone are active, who regards alike a pleasure and a pain, and looks on a clod, a stone, a piece of a gold with an equal eye, who is wise and hold praise and blame to be the same, who is unchanged in honor and dishonor, who treats friend and foe alike, and who has abandoned all fruitive undertaking. Such a man is said to have transcended the modes of material nature. So the person who is maintaining the sthita pragyata, okay, who is remaining calm, still, in whatever the situation, whether it's a distressful situation or a happy situation, he will take it as a blessing of the Lord. So such a person is said to know about the knowledge about the Lord. Yes, Prabhu.
122. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Prakyasam cha pravritim cha mohan eva cha pandava na dveshti sampravittani na nivrittani kankshasi. Neither desires nor rejects illumination and attachment, is comfortable in their presence and unaffected by their absence. 14.23. Udasina badasino gune yano vichalayate guna vartanta iti evam yo batisthati nengate. Occupies on the onslaught of all material reactions, always undisturbed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he remains same in whatever the situation, whether it is a happy or distressful situation. Yes, Prabhu.
124. Samadukha sukha swastha sama lashta smakanchana tulya priya priyo dhiras tulya nindatma samstrutihi.
Hare
Neutral.
Krishna. One more devotee can read the translation part. Prabhu will read the slokas. Anybody from the audience? Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Neutral in reaction to the state of happiness and distress, use the most valuable commodity gold, and the valueless lump of earth equally, has nothing desirable or undesirable as such.
Hare Krishna.
14.25 Praise, criticism, honor, dishonor. Do not
Prabhu,
perturb him.
Hare Krishna. Let him
Hare
finish the
Krishna.
sloka. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 14.25. मानापमानयस्तुल्यस्तुल्य मित्रादिपक्षयः सर्वारम्भ परित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते.
Yes, Prabhu.
Praise, criticism, honor, dishonor. Do not perturb him. Regards friends and foes alike. Abandons all material activities. Such a person is said to have transcendented the modes of material nature and naturally gets rid of the influence of the modes of material nature. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
40.26. मां च य व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीयात एतानि एतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते.
One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So in this we come across in every chapter. So in second chapter it was dealt very clearly. So Brahman is the entry level devotee stage, you know. So once we come across or we overcome the transcendental three modes of material nature and know the knowledge about the Lord, then we come to a stage of a Brahman. Then progressing further in the bhakti, will come to the Paramatma. Then comes the Bhagavan stage. Okay. So to detach from the material activity, one should nihasanga, that is work for the gratification of the Supreme Lord. Nyasta karmanaha, offer the results of activities to the Lord. Prashantaha, be completely satisfied and imbibe the let go attitude of forgiveness. Transfer consciousness from modes of material nature to Krishna. Adhere to Bhakti Yoga towards Krishna and his plenary expansions like Rama and Narayana. And all are equally transcendental, knowledgeable, blissful, and eternal. Practice of Navavida Bhakti in association of devotees like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, eating Krishna Prasadam, enjoying the fragrance of flowers offered to the Lord, reading the Lord's scriptures and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So by doing this, I think all of them are repetitive from a 12th chapter. By doing this, we will be in the track of mode of a goodness. We will, by being in Krishna consciousness, having all devotee association under the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, it becomes easy for us to progress further in the bhakti. So what is Navavida Bhakti? 9 types of devotional service by which we can do it to the Lord. Yes, I wanted one devotee volunteer to read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Can I read Mataji? Is it okay?
Yes.
Navvidha Bhakti. Navvidha Bhakti comprises the 9 ways to express devotion or develop devotion towards God. It is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Vishnu Purana. They are devotional paths leading to moksha or liberation. Shravanam, listening to the names of and stories about God. Parikshit Maharaj. Kirtanam, chanting or singing about God. Narad Muni. Smaranam, remembering God throughout the day. Prahlad Maharaj. Padasevanam, serving God willingly. Goddess Lakshmi. Archanam, worshipping God. Prithu Maharaj. Vandanam, praising God selflessly and with total submission. Akrura. Dasyam, serving God. Hanuman. Sakyam, developing a friendship with God. Arjuna or Sudama. Atmanivedanam, surrendering oneself to God. Self-realization or Samadhi. Bali Maharaj. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. These are the various examples, you know, by which they have attained Lord by different type of bhakti. Okay. So how to transcend these three material modes? Yes, we have discussed like if you are able to transcend these three modes of material nature, then automatically it becomes easy for us to progress further in the bhakti. How to do that? Then one has to engage in full devotion service, unfailing in all circumstances at once. Modes of material that becomes then they come to the level of the Brahman. So example we have here Srila Prabhupada, who has transcended many souls when he was in the US, very fallen souls only they have become a great devotees later on. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
1.27 ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्य शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च.
Hare Krishna Mataji. And I
Hare
am the
Krishna.
basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Again, all the original material belongs to Krishna. The uh, uh, all the material nature which is there in the universe belongs to Krishna and all. So there should not be any longing to all that things. We should use everything judiciously and have a realization that why we are here and we have to do our practices. That is the ultimate goal. Okay. So constitution of Brahma is immortality, impersonality, eternity, and happiness. It's the beginning of transcendental realization once you feel that. And Paramatma is the super soul. That is the next stage as I told. First is the Brahman, second is the Paramatma, and third is the Bhagavan stage. Okay, so Bhagavan and all is the demigods and all those things. So therefore, Paramatma and impersonal Brahma are with the superior personality of the Godhead. Material nature is a manifestation of the inferior energy of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so Lord impregnates the inferior material nature with the fragments of the superior nature so that he wanted it to come back. Okay, so we should put all our efforts to go back to our Godhead. So there is a spiritual touch in the material nature when a conditioned living entity begins to cultivate spiritual knowledge, elevates himself to the position of material existence. So how does it happen? How he progressed from Brahman to Paramatma realization? So can any one of you can say one example? Say suppose in the daily practice, okay, start from the morning, after the Mangalarti, we are doing the chanting and all, okay. So then we feel like offering some flowers to the God, okay. We will go pluck certain flowers and get and offer it to the Lord, okay. Then we feel let's a breakfast time, let us feed Lord something tasty today, okay. You prepare some bhoga and you offer it to the Lord. Sometimes if you have a deity, you feel like dressing up and decorating him beautifully and with all paraphernalia. Okay. So what is all these things, the upachara, what we are doing? So how it's going to affect our consciousness? Please tell me.
We will be in a bliss, Mataji, by seeing the deities. We do more chanting, we do more hearing process. It will like they say, Mataji, that if we do some any services to Lord, we will get some like peace and all like that. It happens, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So it's always advisable to engage, if you are inculcating certain amount of a time in a day in service of the Lord, automatically that becomes a routine and every day morning it will become a routine. So when you're starting your day by service of the Lord, the whole day, whatever the challenging situations come, the only thing what you have in your mind is let me go to sleep early so that I can get up early next day morning early and do my seva to the Lord, isn't it? So that becomes a habit, and by doing so we'll be happy. Rest of the material things will never give that blissful happiness state. So the Supreme Lord is full in six opulences, and the devotee approach him with an exchange of these six opulences, and definitely he will enjoy all those things and he will give us whatever we require. So he see that we are not entangled in any of these three material modes, and he give us required knowledge by which we can evade this. Okay, so by engaging devotion service, we'll certainly elevate to the transcendental position. His unlawful desire to control material nature is removed. The process of Navavida Bhakti should be practiced in association of devotees. Through such association and under the guidance of spiritual master, one's material desire to dominate is removed. Okay, so doing devotional service, the ultimate remedy, so by which we can free from all the material entanglements or any sort of material suffering. Okay, so one should maximum try to engage oneself in the service of the Lord. Okay, so that start with eating Krishna Prasadam, the food we are offering to the Lord, and the flowers which are offered to the Lord, and visit the holy places where the transcendental pastimes of the Lord has happened. Read different activities of the Lord like the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and all. Okay, and always try to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So observe fast on all the appearance and disappearance day, at least till noon, if possible till the dawn. Okay, so likewise it will keep you fit, healthy, and not distracted in the mundane affairs, and always keeping center of attraction as Krishna and engaging your activities in and around him. So definitely you will have the required knowledge what is right and what is wrong, and it will help us to progress further in the bhakti. Yes, I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this. Any one of you?
Hare Krishna Mother.
Yes, Prabhu.
127. Discussion in purport. Devotional service is the safest position. It includes all the characteristics of Brahman realization. The first you mentioned, Supreme Personality of God is the reservoir. And when one understands this, he actually becomes transcendental blissful. Supreme Personality of Godhead is full of 6 opulences. When a devotee approaches the Lord, there is exchange of 6 opulences. Thus, realization of Brahman is like eternity, imperishability, and ultimate happiness are included in bhakti. How summary of chapter 14. Living entities, although Brahman in nature has the desire to lord it over material nature. Desire to enjoy makes him fall down. Association with modes makes him desire to dominate the material world in different bodies. How devotional service helps. Transcendental position. His unlawful desire to control material nature is removed. Practicing 9 processes of devotional service, one thus situated in Brahman conception becomes equal in quality to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So by doing this, we will avoid that material modes, and we will know the transcendental position of the Lord, and will reach the ultimately Brahman stage. Then it becomes easy for us to progress further to the Paramatma and the Bhagwan stage. Okay, so ultimately, we as a Krishna devotees wanted a liberation from this material world. We don't want to get entangled in this material world. So always take the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and take association of a devotees. And with the help of senior devotees, we can navigate all these difficult situations and practice the bhakti by 9 types of devotion service. Take up whatever which suits you the most and try to go back to the Godhead. Okay, so these are the sections and descriptions. The first one is liberation, conditioning of the living entity, description of binding of a pure soul by 3 modes, recognizing the supremacy of the mode within the person, and action and death within the 3 modes. How we have to transcend the 3 modes and come to a stage of a Brahman. So 3 different modes we have discussed, what are the results of which we have discussed, and how is going to affect our material body, in which mode if you are there, and being taken up this Krishna consciousness, which mode we have to be there, and how we have to practice, that we have learned in today class. Yeah. Any questions or any doubts you can ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Just
Krishna.
a doubt. Is killing of animal as offering sacrifice to God is what? Is it ignorance or is it in goodness?
Hare Krishna Mataji, that in animal killing part, if a person kills a animal in next life, how he will be a animal, Mataji? You can say about it.
Yeah, not about one particular incident, you know. Basically, killing of animals as a sacrifice to the Lord is abominable because never in any of the scriptures it is written that you have to sacrifice any animal. So, especially for human beings, it is abominable. We are not supposed to do that.
But
And
they say that for Ma Kali, they have to do some sacrifice like giving animals and all, like buffaloes, goats. I have heard like that, Mataji. Is it true, Mataji?
But no, Mataji, that is not required. We need not sacrifice an animal for the Lord, you know, that's what. In which mode we are doing, again, it is something like if you are sacrificing this animal, something good is going to happen to us. That conditioning itself is very, it's not for liberation. It is conditioning your soul for something good to happen. That means you are there in the mode of a passion. That is not in the mode of a goodness. A brahmana or a person who is there in the mode of a goodness, who see the soul in that particular animal also, and he feels like Krishna. Just now we have read in previous slides, you know, he will not spare if you are killing an ant also. So how he will be spare if you are killing any of this? So ultimately all this karma will get accumulated.
Okay,
So it is
Mataji.
not recommended. And you know, maybe I exactly don't know the chronological order from which uni to uni, how they progress and all. So by disturbing that particular life cycle of that animal, you know, again it is subjected to born in the same yoni, you know. So we are just breaking the cycle of progressing it to the higher. So in that way, we are incurring a lot of sins we are doing, and this is willfully we are doing this. Okay, so if we can prevent that, that would be of great help to the society.
Okay, Mataji. Mataji, I have added Manoj Prabhu's number, Mataji, in Ekadashi recitation group.
Okay, which chapter you are comfortable, Prabhu, you can just post it in the group. We
Sure,
will take
Mataji.
that
Thank you,
preparation.
Mataji.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hare Krishna. Any other doubts? So now that we have completed 3 modes of material nature, next chapter will be about the Purushottama Yoga. So the ideal person. So what is the real world? What is the virtual world? And how exactly things goes in real world. We will come to have a detailed discussion about it. It's a small chapter, but very interesting. Okay. And very important. Okay. If there are no more doubts, I think we can end the session for today.
Yes, Mataji. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Thank you, co-host and participants, for your active participation. See you all next Monday at 7 p.m. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.